Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show today on this Sunday with your host Ram. And well, we have a lot of things to talk, so I'm not going to go in a lot of details, but yes, we have a lot of things to talk. One is Australia doing a clean sweep of the series here at the SCG by registering a 3-0 series victory, and what a day for Mr. Cricket, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Michael Hussey retiring from Test cricket, and he was also dropped from the one-day squad. So that essentially meant that he was playing his last test match, and what a way. He was there in the thick of things when the victory, even though he couldn't get the honor of scoring the winning stroke, which I would have definitely loved to watch him, Michael Hussey, do it. He has been the Mr. Cricket and Mr. Consistent of international cricket, unfortunately of Australian cricket rather, and unfortunately it was not to be, but Hussey was there unbeaten with 20 odd runs when the victory came for Australia. So what a proud moment, and what a parting gift the Australian team has given Michael Hussey on his retirement from Test cricket. So Michael Hussey, wish him good luck in whatever he does after cricket. Well, now the other thing that I'm going to talk about is, yesterday I was talking about Pakistan probably looking sharper. They were looking good, and they were looking very good for a 3-0 series victory, and as I said, history was going to be made with probably a span. Last time it was the Clive Lodge West Indians who came to India and conquered India, not only conquered India but thrashed India 3-0. Well, if that was the case, well, one hope that that is going to be the case yesterday when they were playing in Delhi, but it was not to be. India stopped Pakistan in their tracks today by winning an exciting encounter by 10 runs at the Firozshah Kotla. So, and then one unsavory episode happening in the Big Bash League today, with experienced David Warne and Marlon clashing due to, it was a very unsavory episode. There's nothing that happened, but only one thing which happened was not good, and not good for West Indies and for Marlon Samuels, because he had a gash in his eye, because what he did is he tried to actually play a bouncer from Lasith Malinga through the slips garden, but in fact he missed it. It went through the grill, hit his eye, and he is in hospital, and I assume that he is out of the BBL, which is very sad news. I will come to that later, but let's first talk about this clean sweep done by Australia against Sri Lanka. So I last left you in that report where I was telling you that Chandimal played a good innings and Australia were given a target of 141 to win. As I said, Rangana Herath was the man to watch. Yes, Rangana Herath did his job. If you look at his bowling figures, he had 16.5 overs, no maiden, 47 runs and 3 wickets. And well, it was not nothing much. And David Warner was the first wicket to go. After that, Phil Hughes fell as he was LBW, bowled Rangana Herath for 34 with 4 boundaries. And Michael Clarke showed some, hit some 3 good boundaries before he went for 29 of 52 balls to 3 4. He was a victim of Dilshan. And Mahela Jayawardene yesterday wanted to exploit whatever there was on the pitch, because they had only 141 to defend. And Tilakatne Dilshan was given a long bowl, 18 overs, 2 maidens, 57 runs on 1 wicket. They were the ones who really toiled hard. Out of the 42 overs bowled, the lion's share was taken by the spinners Tilakatne Dilshan and Rangana Herath, who bowled almost 35 overs between them, almost 35 overs. And well, there was nothing much to really, but there was not real panic or anything. It was just, I wouldn't say very easy for Australia, because they definitely lost wickets in the process. They were 141 for 5 when the victory came. But the very essential part of it was that Michael Hussey was there when the victory came. He had an unbeaten 27 to his name with 2 boundaries. Matthew Wade was clean bowled by Herath for 9. And Ed Cowan contributed 36 with 4 boundaries, becoming another victim of Herath. And Mitchell Johnson was the one who got the winning hit. And Australia were home 141 for 5. They had actually clean swept the series, and Sri Lanka, as far as Sri Lanka were concerned, the maiden test victory in Australia remained a distant dream. And 141 for 5, Australia winning the match by 5 wickets, and really taking a great clean sweep of this series against Sri Lanka by beating them 3-0. Totally dominated with bat and ball in this series. Bowling, Lakmal had 6 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 18, and Nuwan Pradeep bowled 2 overs for 14 runs. Other than that, it was all dominated by the spinners, with 3 wickets to Rangana Herath, the left-arm spinner, and Tilakatne Dilshan chipping in with a single wicket. Yes, the player of the match, in fact the man of the match, has gone to Jackson Bird for his splendid bowling here, and he looks to be a very, very good prospect indeed. And as far as the player of the series was concerned, well, we all know who it was, and as I'm still repeating it, for me, the ICC Cricketer of the Year 2012, I have already named my ICC Man of the Year for 2012. That is none other than the Australian captain Michael Clarke. And the Australian captain Michael Clarke was the player of the series. Well, as I said, it is my nomination. That I would be really surprised if anyone else got the International Cricketer of the Year award in 2012. It has to be Michael Clarke. Well, so right now I'm moving on from here, so it's all over, and now everything moves on to the one-day internationals, which starts on 11th of January between Australia and Sri Lanka. So as I said, they have a lot of things to talk about. So I'm not going to waste much time, and I'm heading towards the Firozshah Kotla in India, where the final match was being played by India versus Pakistan, and India were the ones who actually batted first. In fact, they won the toss, and they chose to bat first on this Firozshah Kotla pitch. Well, I made a slight error the other day. I spoke too early, I suppose. I said it was a day match. I'm very, very sorry about that. It was a day-night match. That's what I hear. I'm sorry about that. Probably I wouldn't know whether any facilities were made available, and then they changed it, because initially the news that I got was it was a day match, but I think it was a day-night match. But well, as far as Pakistan were concerned, as I said, history was going to be made since 1983-84. But yes, India really, really played well. In fact, the Indian bowlers have to be really, really commended for their performance, because not only did India defend a score of 167, but in fact it was a close encounter, and they won the match by 10 runs, and thus making the series, thus India and Pakistan ending the series with Pakistan taking the cup 2-1. But yes, India definitely were very, very jubilant when they got the victory. By the way, when actually Yuvraj Singh took the catch and started running away, and all the teammates following him, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni also, we could see a lot of emotion in him too. That was really surprising. And I mean, we have not seen Dhoni getting so excited, but it was Dhoni also who was looking very excited, and they wanted to do that, and India achieved that. So that is really, really commendable. That I thought Pakistan, with the current batting and bowling lineup, and they were looking menacing, but India definitely stopped them in their tracks. So that would be sort of a real morale booster ahead of the India-England one-day series, which is going to start shortly. And for India, well, they decided to drop Virendra Sehwag. And while I'm talking about Virendra Sehwag, let me also tell you, dear fans, friends and subscribers, Virendra Sehwag has been dropped for the first 3 one-day internationals between India and England, but I'll talk about that later. But right now, as far as India were concerned, India made 167 all out. Again, as I said, they were really, really hit by the pace and swing of the very, very irrepressible Junaid Khan, who captured only 1 wicket, but he bowled excellently. 9 overs, 1 maiden, 17 runs on 1 wicket. His partner Mohammad Irfan today, for a long time, he was picking up wickets, but the problem was his consistency as far as line and length is concerned. But today it was Mohammad Irfan who bowled beautifully, I thought. 7 overs, 1 maiden, 28 runs and 2 wickets. But Saeed Ajmal was the architect of this. Saeed Ajmal was responsible for India being all out for 167, because he quickly wrapped up the tail, and in fact he returned figures of 9.4 overs, 1 maiden, 24 runs and 5 wickets. And according to me, a 5-wicket haul in Test cricket is supposed to be good. And since Imran took 6 for 14 in Sharjah, where, as you would all remember, if at all people remember, it was played in Sharjah between India and Pakistan, where it was India who actually bowled out Pakistan for 87, if my memory serves me right. Imran Khan took 6 for 14. So that's the best ever analysis as far as one-day international cricket is concerned for Pakistan by Imran Khan. But Saeed Ajmal came one closer today, 9.4 overs, 1 maiden, 24 runs and 5 wickets. But I was a bit surprised that he didn't get the Man of the Match award. And as far as other wickets were concerned, Umar Gul 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 45. The costliest was Mohammad Hafiz, Mohammad Hafiz, the right-arm off spinner. 10 overs, 1 for 44, 1 wicket. In fact, India targeted Mohammad Hafiz because they knew they couldn't get past Saeed Ajmal. In fact, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who was named Man of the Match, clubbed 3 sixes of the bowling of Mohammad Hafiz to spoil his figures. As far as India were concerned, India were 167 all out. That is some good bowling from the Pakistani pace bowlers, supported very, very nicely by Saeed Ajmal, the off spinner. And India, well, it doesn't make any happy reading. Gautam Gambhir was out for 15, continues to struggle of 27 balls with 1-4. Ajinkya Rahane, who roped in, just made only 4 runs of 11 balls with 1-4. Virat Kohli made only 7 runs of 17 balls with 1-4. The double figures, there were 4 persons who actually reached double figures. There was Yuvraj Singh with 23 of as many balls with 4 fours. Suresh Raina made 31 of 60 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. Dhoni contribution of 36 of 55 balls with 1 4 and 3 sixes of Mohammad Hafiz. And Ravindra Jadeja, who clubbed 2 huge sixes. In the first 6 that he hit was a real monster of a hit, as he hit Umar Gul high, wide and handsome for a 6. And he also hit Saeed Ajmal over mid-wicket for a 6, in contributing 27 useful runs of 39 balls with 2 fours. Ashwin was out for a blob. Bhuvnesh Kumar was out for 2. Shami Ahmed for India made his debut. I'll talk about his bowling later. Ishant Sharma was out for 5. 167 all out India, and I'm sure Pakistan would have fancied that they are almost close to a 3-0 series victory there. But, well, let me talk about how the Indian bowlers did. In fact, the Indian bowlers did a splendid job here. With I have to really wrap it up here. In fact, the breakthrough. Let me talk about the bowling here. Pakistan were all out for 157, losing the match by 10 runs. It was all the handiwork of the bowlers. In fact, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was the one who gave them the breakthrough by bowling huge, big in-swingers, and sending Nasir Jamshid, LBW. In fact, sorry, the first wicket goes Kamran Akmal. Today there was one change. Mohammad Hafiz didn't open the innings with Nasir Jamshid. He came down the order because of that hit he had from Mahendra Singh Dhoni while he was bowling. So Kamran Akmal was consumed by a big in-swinger from Bhuvneshwar Kumar for duck. Yunus Khan was consumed by big in-swinger by Bhuvnesh Kumar, which went in to rattle the stumps for 6. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar's score, the bowling figures were 10 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 31. Shami Ahmed made his debut today, the right-arm seamer, and he bowled splendidly. He bowled 4 maidens, 9 overs, 4 maidens, 23 runs on 1 wicket on his debut. Splendid bowling figures. He also came at the death and bowled splendidly, I thought. Misbah ul Haq's contribution was 39 with 4 boundaries. Umar Akmal made 25 with 3 boundaries. The double figures, Mohammad Hafiz made 21 of 31 balls with 2 fours, and Umar Gul made 11. But Mohammad Hafiz was there. There was some hope for them. But the sad part was that the tailenders were not really able to do anything because Umar Gul was out for 11, Saeed Ajmal was out for 1, Junaid Khan was run out for a duck, and then it was Mohammad Hafiz to do everything. But in the end, when they just required another 10 runs, it was Mohammad Hafiz who perished, who was caught by Yuvraj Singh, or the bowling of Ishant Sharma for 21. Thus India winning the match by a margin of just 10 runs. The man of the match went to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, which was a big surprise for me. The man of the match should have been Saeed Ajmal, but the match adjudicators probably had something else in mind. And as far as man of the series was concerned, we all know that Nasir Jamshid made 2 centuries. He was rightly named man of the match. So the one-day series is all done and dusted. Now, the only thing, the bowling figures, Ishant Sharma 3 for 36 for him. Ashwin 10 overs, 1 for 47. Let me also mention Ravindra Jadeja's bowling, the left-arm spinner. He bowled splendidly, I thought. He struck to a good line. He was not flighting. He was sometimes bowling it flat, was not making it easier for the batsman. He has learned from it, I suppose. And Ravindra Jadeja bowled 10 overs, 2 minutes, 19 runs on 1 wicket. Absolutely economical bowling. Now, and also Virendra Sehwag has been dropped for the one-day internationals against England. That is the news. Now, the other unsavory episode that happened in the BBL, I just wanted to very quickly cover. Actually, what happened was Marlon Samuels, there was a match between Melbourne Stars and Melbourne Renegades, and Marlon Samuels actually stopped David Hussey while he was running, blocked him probably. The Warner, when he came out and he came to bat, he probably had a words exchange with Marlon Samuels for the way he acted when trying to block Hussey. That basically infuriated Samuels. And when David Warner was bowling, he wanted to show it off, and so he actually bowled it and actually threw the ball, which really missed Samuels. And Samuels got angry, and Samuels actually threw the bat over. It went over over Shane Warne's head, and it infuriated. And probably it was Samuels was charging at Shane Warne. I'm sorry, it was not David Warner, it was Shane Warne. I'm sorry about that. Probably my YouTube broadcast is coming to an end. I just want to wrap it up. So Shane Warne was there. The very unsavory episode. In fact, Marlon Samuels has gone to hospital. As I said, he has been hit on the eye because he tried to hit a Lasith Malinga bouncer trying to edge it. He actually got it through the gill onto his eye, and he has been admitted to hospital. And I'm told he might be out of the BBL, which is not good news. and it was a very unsavory episode that happened at the Big Bash League in Australia. With that, I end my cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.